From caves to canvases to touchscreens, the human need to leave a mark. Let us begin in the dark, not romantic candlelight dark. I mean, prehistoric, damp, smoky, possibly buried behind you dark. Picture it. A human ancestor crouches in a cave thousands of years before Wi-Fi, capitalism, or the luxury of complaining about Mondays. And instead of sharpening tools or checking the mammoths are in a good mood today, they pick up a lump of ochre and draw something on a wall. Maybe a deer, maybe a handprint, maybe the first recorded attempt at a meme. Why? Why spend time scratching shapes into stone when you might be eaten, frozen, or traumatized by the smell of your neighbor's mammoth fur tunic? Because we humans do something extremely strange. We mark things. Not because we need to, but because we need to. We leave traces on caves, canvases, phones, and the occasional school desk. We scribble our names in wet cement. We draw hearts in beach sand. We carve initials into trees, which the trees probably consider rude. And the mystery is, what force inside us demand this? Let's find out. Humans across every culture, every continent, seem compelled to make signs, to leave visible traces. This impulse is ancient, pervasive, and surprisingly mysterious. Some researchers argue there is no single reason, rather several overlapping drives. One powerful motivation: art, drawing, and creative expression may give us a sense of meaning, order, and self in a chaotic world. According to the honing theory of creativity, when our minds are troubled, uncertain, or filled with psychological entropy, art becomes a coping mechanism. Through creation, we reorganize our inner chaos. When a cave dweller paints a deer or scribbles a symbol, perhaps they don't know why, but the act helps them make sense of life, memory, fear, hope. Even if no one ever saw it, the mark still matters, because it's a footprint of being. At another level, art might be the earliest form of "I was here," something fundamentally human, a defiance against oblivion. We are mortal, our lives fleeting. We leave marks because consciousness is terrifying, and leaving something behind makes it slightly less terrifying. We're the only species that can imagine the future and fear a future where we are not in it. Maybe, even if no one alive sees that mark, some future stranger, some distant descendant, might stumble upon it and sense, "Here lives someone like me." Isn't that beautiful and tragic at once? A longing for permanence, for legacy, a small rebellion against time. But maybe it wasn't only existential angst. Maybe art offered concrete advantages, evolutionary advantages. Some evolutionary psychological theories argue that art served as a kind of costly signal, a demonstration of fitness, skill, creativity. Just like in many species, extravagant displays that at first glance seem wasteful can signal underlying quality to mates or allies. In a prehistoric tribe, someone who could paint or carve skillfully, perhaps had a sharp mind, good coordination, social intelligence, traits that were valuable for group survival. Their ability to create attractive art may have signaled competence, trustworthiness, or even leadership. Moreover, research using computational models suggests that a key turning point in human creativity came with the development of recursive recall, the ability to change simple ideas into complex ones. Once early humans gained this mental capacity, creativity could blossom indefinitely. Art then may have started as a byproduct of evolving cognition and brain wiring unique to humans, a kind of side effect with huge cultural consequences. So, was art a survival tool, a sexual signal, a cognitive byproduct, or all of those at once? The answer seems yes. Beyond survival and legacy, art touches us deeply. When we create or observe art, our brains respond. Studies show that engaging in creative acts activates reward centers in the brain and releases feel-good neurotransmitters. For the cave painter, perhaps the act of drawing itself felt good, calming, centering, fulfilling. Maybe art offered psychological relief, a way to process emotions, fears, or stories inside, even before feelings were consciously named. In modern humans, art therapy uses these same features. Art is a tool to heal, to channel inner turbulence into form and structure. That ancient impulse is still alive, because in art we become more human. We find patterns, we make sense, we create meaning. Here lies a paradox. Art often seems useless. In a survival-focused world with its necessity for food, shelter, fire, why spend time painting on a wall? Yet, precisely because art is not practical, it may be essential. Some of our greatest human capacities, self-reflection, empathy, culture, memory, are bound up in art, not in tools. While tools feed the body, art feeds the mind and the soul. And maybe, just maybe, that hunger for meaning, for connection, for echo beyond death, is what distinguishes us as human. A haunting question. What if the cave artist's work was never discovered? Would the effort still have mattered? Neuroscientists found that the act of creating releases dopamine and modulates emotional regulation. In fact, A 2022 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that making something reduces anxiety even when no one else sees a result. So prehistoric art wasn't made just for eyes. It was made for relief, for being, for living, even hidden, even forgotten. The act itself carried value. When we draw in sand at the beach, knowing the waves will wash it away, we do it anyway because we need to feel alive, because we need to know we existed, if only for a moment. So, is art then a mistake of evolution or a beautiful byproduct? Perhaps it is both. A mistake only if you value efficiency over meaning. But if you value humanity, creativity may be evolution's greatest gift. Our brains, wired for survival, also wander into dream spaces. They long to express, to mark, to eternalize. Art emerges not because it was necessary, but because we are. What began as a streak of ochre on a cave wall turns into entire cultures, histories, civilizations, our shared human tapestry. And isn't that something worth pausing for, even in today's noisy world? Imagine holding a smooth stone in your hand. It's cold, weighty, unmoving. Now imagine your fingers brushing across a touchscreen, warm from your skin, glowing, reactive, almost alive. These two materials, stone and glass, sit opposite ends of human history, yet both have served as our canvases. And the question is, how much do these surfaces shape the humans who use them? Because we think we shape our materials. But what if every material, every medium, also shapes us? Let's explore that. Modern psychology tells us something remarkable. The objects we interact with daily influence our emotional states, our thinking patterns, even our sense of identity. A recent 2023 study in cognitive aesthetics suggests that the physical properties of a creative medium, its texture, resistance, and responsiveness, change the type of ideas we generate and the emotional qualities we express. A rough cave wall invites bold gestures. A sheet of rice paper invites stillness. A touch screen invites speed and iteration. It seems absurd, but it's true. Our tools sculpt our inner landscapes. A prehistoric painter kneeling on cold stone, surrounded by flickering firelight, was not simply expressing themselves. They were in a state of reverence, scarcity, danger. Their medium forced them into ritual. Today, the iPad encourages swipes, undo buttons, instantaneous changes. It cultivates a mindset of possibility, experimentation, infinite variation. So, does material shape the soul? The evidence says, yes, more than we realize. This brings us to the famous McLuhan idea. The medium is a message. Practically speaking, what does that mean? A stone wall makes a message feel eternal. A canvas makes it feel personal and portable. A smartphone screen makes it feel disposable, viral, addictive. A cave painting was never meant to be shared beyond the tribe. A TikTok is designed to leave your village before you do. Think of it this way. If there had been likes in the Ice Age, mammoths absolutely would have been the cats of the prehistoric internet. They were cute, gigantic, strangely photogenic, and constantly doing dramatic things like falling into tar pits. Don't pretend you wouldn't have clicked follow on a mammoth migration reel. So let's be honest. YouTubers are the cave painters of today. Absolutely. Both leave messages on a wall. Both try to capture something about their world. Both hope someone will see it, understand it, and maybe carry it forward. The cave wall just became brighter, faster, and algorithmic. The tribe got bigger, from 20 people to 20 million. And what about TikTok? Would cavemen have loved it or hated it? Probably both. They would have loved the storytelling. They would have hated the low attention span, because their entire existence depended on paying attention on details. And yet they too carved moments, symbols, fragments of life. Maybe not so different from filming a 7-second video of your dog doing something stupid. But how come different cultures make different art? Why does a Japanese ink stroke feel like control breath, while a Dogon mask feels like cosmic energy exploding outward? Why does Renaissance art worship perspective, while Aboriginal art dissolves perspective entirely? It's one of the great mysteries of humanity. No single factor explains this. But researchers suggest 3 major influences. Environment and climate. Harsh environments often produce symbolic, spiritual art, an attempt to impose order or meaning on unpredictable nature. Religion and ritual. Cultures with strong ritual traditions often embed their art into ceremonies, not galleries. Diet and daily life. Believe it or not, what people eat affects their tools and pigments, which affect style. Fish glue, plant dyes, bone charcoal. Each material has a voice. And then there's a wild card, chance. Creativity is influenced by random innovations. A new tool, a new pigment, a new ritual. Entire aesthetic traditions can shift because someone discovered that burnt bones make a deeper black. Is style genetic? Cultural? Random? The answer is infuriating. Yes, throughout history, art has also been used to control. And to break control, History is basically the story of humans doing two things: making rules, and making art to complain about those rules. Kings carved their victories into stone, so no one could question them. Religions filled their temples with images that shape belief. Empires forced conquered peoples into foreign artistic styles to erase identity. But art has also always been the weapon of the oppressed, a whisper of resistance, a symbol of defiance, a secret message written in plain sight. This is why dictators still fear graffiti. Graffiti is the one thing authoritarian systems can never fully control. It appears spontaneously. It spreads fast. It mocks power. It belongs to the people. A blank wall in a dictatorship is not a wall. It is a battlefield. And yes, if you want to control a culture, you start with the artists. Because artists decide what is remembered and what is forgotten. Will our feeds become archaeology? Absolutely. 2,000 years from now, future archaeologists might examine our digital artifacts. Selfies, our portraits, food pics, our ritual offerings, hashtags, our magical inscriptions, memes, our communal myths, influencers, our tribal storytellers. They will wonder why we documented everything. They will wonder what we hope to preserve. And they will ask the same question we ask when we study cave art. What does this say about who they were and who they hope to become? From stone to canvas to touchscreen, our materials have changed, but our impulse hasn't. We still want to communicate, we still want to be seen, and we still want to leave a trace. And our mediums, from cave walls to canvas to touchscreens, don't just carry our messages. They shape the very people we become.